Well, David Stearns is gone. Michael Corleone, final part of Godfather 1. He's settling all family business pretty quickly here. Kyle Tucker said no to the Mets, and David Stearns, and with Stephen Cohn's money and a good farm system, has turned around quickly and done a lot of business, pretty much all the business the Mets have to do this offseason. It's Bo Bichette to play third. It's Luis Robert to play center. Even a little move for Luis Garcia to deepen the bullpen. And then on Wednesday night, for the second straight night, the Mets made a trade using their farm system, good pieces, top 100 prospects, Jet Williams, Brandon Sproat, and they get Freddy Garcia and Tobias Myers. What does this mean? The Mets get a guy who, in theory, could start opening day. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. He is an ace type, and David Stearns knows him well. David Stearns had a great run running baseball operations for the Brewers. Arguably his best trade while he was there was acquiring Freddy Peralta, and now he has done it twice. The kicker here is they get Tobias Myers, who's an optionable arm, who had a very strong rookie season in 2024. It was not quite as good last year in 25, but it gives the Mets some pitching depth. And it really gives them rotation depth. Think about what a healthy, normal season Peralta does. This way, the pressure is less on Nolan McLean. In case they only get Senga or Minaya to make a bounce-back season, it is not as urgent that they have both guys make it, though obviously the rotation is so much stronger if it is. Clay Holmes pitches deeper in the rotation. David Peterson does. It is real depth for the starting rotation, and a obvious guy who can, again, he's an opening day starter. He's a game one postseason starter. He only makes $8 million, comparatively not a lot. He's a free agent at the end of the year, but he signed an extension with the Brewers when David Stearns was there, and this is now how the Mets have Steve Cohn's money. If they want to try to do something with Peralta even before this season begins, I don't think that's probably out of the question. This trade was a lot like the trade that the Brewers made 2 years ago with the Baltimore Orioles. Corbin Burns was entering his walk season as the ace of the Brewers, much as Peralta was about to enter his walk year. And in exchange, I had heard this was going to be the case. The Brewers were looking for a similar deal. It needed to be 2 top 100 prospects, an infielder and a starting pitcher. In the Burns case, it was D.L. Hall and Joey Ortiz. That has not worked out perfectly. Ortiz is a very good defender. D.L. Hall is looking more and more like he might be a bullpen guy. But at the time of the trade, they were top 100 prospects in the way that Sproat and Williams are right now. The Mets pitching program has grown by leaps and bounds over the time Stearns has been there. It is admired a lot in the industry. The Mets believe they will have more coming beyond the wave of the Sproat, Tong, Nolan McLean. It makes Sproat more expendable. Jet Williams becomes the second kind of move around, mainly infielder, after the Mets moved Luis Angel Acuna as part of the Luis Robert trade. But with Bichette, Marcus Semien, 2 acquisitions this offseason, Francisco Lindor, they're kind of set second, short, third. They still have Brett Beatty to move around the infield. They still have Ronnie Mauricio to move around the infield. And it wouldn't surprise me now, like the Mets can now do more small things around the margins. I'm not saying they won't look for bigger things. These are the Steve Cohen Mets, not the Fred Wilpon Mets. They might continue to do some big things, but they could look for another like infield positional depth player now to potentially help. They could look for maybe even an outfielder. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one more reliever in here someplace. But to me, the heavy lifting has been done. Their positional group is pretty much in place. Out with Alonso, McNeil, Nimmo, and probably Starling Marte, who's a free agent. In with Semien, Polanco, Bichette, and Robert. That feels like it's going to be the positional group strongly. And now Freddy Peralta atop the rotation. It feels like it is the exclamation point on. There was a lot of criticism right early on. I know I tell a lot of Met fans this. You got to be patient. The off seasons are longer now. Executives do not feel the pressure to get things done by the winter meetings in early December or even Christmas. They are comfortable and confident to drag it out and see what happens. And here's David Stearns after all the criticism I'm sure he heard about, oh, he's really a small market GM and he's like not doing enough. Well, certainly in these last few days, the Mets have blown up their payroll, reached into their farm system and added some real talent and depth. And they look now like a real threat again in the NL East. They've felt that way a few times in recent years and it hasn't worked out. But for all the changes they made, my suspicion is before the Peralta trade, they were already up to generally about 87, 88 wins in most teams' models. I wonder if this gets them into like the 90 win in most teams' models. Whatever it is, this has been quite a 3-day period. Bichette, Robert, and now Freddy Peralta to kind of finalize the real last big need of the Mets this offseason, which is somebody to pitch atop of the rotation. Kudos to David Stearns, Steve Cohen, and the Mets.
In 6 short days, the Mets saved their winter. Things were looking rough there for a while, but 6 days ago, the Mets signed Bo Bichette, outstanding player, 3 years, $126 million. 5 days later, they acquire Luis Robert in trade, a needed player, and then the big one, Freddy Peralta, comes in trade from the Milwaukee Brewers, David Stearns' old team. Perhaps the relationship helped. They did give up Jet Williams, a very fine prospect, second baseman, outfielder, very versatile guy with a lot of speed. Gave up Brandon Sproat, good pitcher, very nice arm, throws 98, 99, as we know. But Freddy Peralta is the big news, and he's coming with Tobias Myers. So they actually got 2 major league pitchers in the deal, but Peralta is the big one. Only has a year to go before he's a free agent, but here's the bonus. It is possible that he would sign an extension. He's been looking for an extension with Milwaukee for a year, 2 years now. Milwaukee was not able to do it. I'm sure as an ace pitcher, he's looking at a $25 million a year contract or something of that ilk. Certainly the Mets can afford that if they want to do it, but there is that option. Obviously, Tarek Skubal is the big fish on the trade market if he is traded. No guarantee he's traded. That's number one. Number two, he won't be signing any extension anytime soon. He's going to be a free agent for sure. The likelihood is that the same holds true for Peralta. Did have a big year last year, 17-6, 2.70 ERA, finished 5th in the Cy Young voting. I had a vote. I had him 4th. I thought he had a terrific season for the Brewers, the overachieving Brewers, as usual. And now the Mets have their ace pitcher. They had a great week, and things are all very, very fine right now in Metland.